Yeah, you're gonna anger any Twitch followers. Sorry, Twitch followers.
Oops. Sorry, feminist.
Sorry, feminist.
I mean, some of them were golden.
What were some golden ones for you?
The ones y'all named.
I was doing hand stuff. Released on June 5th of 2026, directed by Mark Tides, or however you want to pronounce it. It could be Mark Titties. And written by Sean Wayans. It's true, I don't know how to pronounce it. Tiddes. And honestly, if I was the director, I would, for this movie, that's how I would say my name. Director name, humor level. Written by Sean Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Buddy Johnson, Phil Bowman, Jason Friedberg, and Aaron Seltzer in different combinations of the ampersand and the and, with more. Oh, that was the base on characters. Sorry, my bad. Written by Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, who is the director of the first film, and probably others, but I didn't check that before doing this. Craig Wayans and Rick Alvarez, with a budget of $30 million. And so far, worldwide box office of $113,498,241. There is a purpose to recording this today, because even though it will be released, we are celebrating this glorious return to comedy on 6/9. All hail. And that's all my jokes spent. I'm Brian with Brad and Milan, and if we inverse that order, that's where we're going to go with the 420 reviews, which are a review utilizing the dopest poem known to man, because you go 4 words at a time until you get to that glorious 20. And Milan, want to puff and then pass it to Brad?
All right. So, laughter that spans generations, storylines with no end, a rather obvious truth. Who needs them kids? Exactly what was expected.
Brad?
Scary movie OGs return. Ghostface gets new faces. Pop culture gets roasted. Many jokes fall flat. Plot dies before climax.
And mine is sometimes funny, sometimes tired. References old and older. Family business is booming. Some solid meta callbacks. Nailed the ending, though. So, how was the return to nostalgia? I think I've seen the beginning of the original, but I realized today I hadn't actually watched the whole film until I did today. How was your returns or histories with this franchise?
I think I've only seen 1 and 2. I don't think I've seen 3, 4, and 5. So I'm sure there's some things I was missing there, which is probably why some of the jokes just kind of like didn't land quite well, because I probably don't understand the callbacks. I mean, but it's still solid funny. I mean, it's just a parody of horror movies and with pop culture and zeitgeist jokes thrown in there. So,
I was a huge fan of the scary movie franchise when it first came out and everything. So I can probably safely say I've seen all of them. I could definitely say there were quite a few of them that I did not enjoy at all. But this was not the least enjoyable of those. So I give it that. It still cannot beat out the first 2 scary movies. I think it's going to be very hard to do that with, just like with any other, franchise or whatnot. But definitely wasn't the worst or scary movie. As far as like the nostalgia side of it, it was enjoyable to see so many callbacks, but in a way, it was also too much. Like if it felt like this was like a last hurrah. It was like, oh, let's put as much stuff as we possibly can into this, and that just made it so convoluted that like at times it was just like, all right, can't really enjoy that as much as I would like to, because now this other thing is happening. Whereas if they had a focus on just maybe 1 or 2 of the old movies or whatever else they were doing and not everything, I think it would have hit a little bit harder. But it was still really fun to see a lot of the old people pop back in very, very briefly and do their weird things.
Yeah,
before this movie, one of the trailers for this movie was Jackass. So would you say that this movie kind of falls into that same trope of like, there's just so much going on. There's like 1 joke, 2 joke, 3 joke, or like 1 stunt, 2 stunt, 3 stunts, that like it doesn't give you time to really enjoy that 1 stunt or that 1 funny moment?
I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's how Scary Movie is in general, but I think this was like overload. Like it went to like times 10 for this particular one.
That's interesting. I mean, I saw this probably on like Thursday or Friday, so a whole weekend to have space from it. So I could be wrong, but I just watched the first one today, and it felt like that one had more jokes packed into it. Maybe more jokes that landed.
It was more jokes that were like of the same vein, like they were related to the same things. So because they were focused on like a handful of different like movies and whatnot that they're making fun of, whereas this one was making fun of like 100 different things.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense, because I think they're probably like, besides taking the outline of certain scenes, like the opening scene of Scary Movie from Scream, obviously, it did feel like there were maybe 5 movie references. Like I literally was pausing and be like, oh, that hook is from I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was so subtle, whereas this, even though this is one that worked for me at the end, this one is just like, hey, let's just have 3 of our characters randomly do the Sinners reference. And but that was only worth it to me, even though it completely broke any like, why is Tuesday doing that? Because they said, man, you gentrify the Jeffersons. I was like, all right, it's ridiculous, the concept of this happening now. But yeah, I guess for me, Get Out was the reference where I'm like, this? Okay, I am. Wasn't that like a decade ago? But
so I just looked. Scary Movie 5 came out in 2013. So realistically, there's been roughly a 13-year gap between the two. So maybe this kind of fell in that trap of like trying to be nostalgic and make sure that we hit the references, but then also try and cover everything from the last 13 years of like funny things that we can put in there and just like try to jam too much at one time.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, this one didn't. I guess they are talking about enough different things, but this one didn't feel like there were a lot of jokes. Like it was over. Like I was missing some. It just felt to me like either we're in a 10-minute span where it's working, or we're in a 10-minute span where it's not. And I was shocked that. I want to make sure I have the correct Wayans Brothers. I was shocked going back to the original one and seeing Shorty's character versus this, because I think half of his dialogue in this movie is the N-word. And then I watched the original one and I was like, oh, he said it once. Okay. Like, you've seen all of them. Is this how many movies has Shorty been in the franchise? Is 6 a natural escalation?
So he was in, so I think that was always part of the like contention, because they were in 1 through 3, and then 4 and 5 got weird, and it was like a different cast or whatever. I think for some of them were in it, but not everybody. It was like
because the Wayans didn't like come back, right?
Yeah, or something like that. But like as far as Shorty is concerned, like I feel like this is probably the most off the wall he's kind of been, but I also feel like that's kind of intentional, because I got the vibe throughout this entire film, and I'm trying to like go without getting into spoilers or anything. Yeah, that like this was supposed to be in some ways a jab at like younger comedy and whatnot, and like the things that the younger generation does. So that was kind of where Shorty was being a little bit more extreme than what he had been in previous films. At least that's how I was looking at it. Especially when I thought about how the film ended, and I was just like, yeah, like the like overarching theme of this film was, F them kids.
Yeah, fair. I'm going through the writing credits, and it looks like 3 and 4 didn't have the Wayans brothers involved at all. No, and 5. And,
no 4 and 5.
And weird thing about 3 and 4, the top billed writer is Craig Mazin, who did The Last of Us and Chernobyl, and also weirdly wrote The Sheep Detectives. He has such a weird career. Oscar-winning HBO television, cute as hell and perfect family fare that'll make you cry. Scary Movie 3 and 4 when they couldn't get the real talent. All right, I guess we'll get into spoilers very soon because I want to talk about some of the meta jokes about the writers and the weigh-ins with the films. But I actually forgot. Do we have any Bradley Cooper's trivia? Okay, then.
Do we?
I will say for my viewing, I was going in just hoping that I would not have too many complaints because after we recorded last week, I expressed some not sufficient enthusiasm about this scary movie, and Milan reached through the computer, slapped me around, and said, "Get it together. This is our childhood." But who wants to say their rating first? Because I'm scared with that context.
Well, why don't you go through the rating system just in case it's their first time here?
Yeah. Yeah, we naturally did that again. Starting from an S to an F tier with one wild card, it goes ayahuasca, mushroom, edible, joint, skunky, and for those movies that are fun, but they're not good. But damn, are they fun? But you can't say it's good. That's a Molly.
So
I'll go ahead. I'll go first because I'll probably be the low score here. I'm gonna go with jointy. What's the one right above it?
Jointy edible.
Jointy edible. I think a lot of I think it's overall very funny. It's not. Don't take it seriously. It doesn't take itself seriously, but at the same time, like some of the jokes just didn't land, and I could tell that they were going for a punchline, and just like either I'm too old or too woke or too something to get some of the jokes, and it's just like. I mean, I can see that you're setting up for something. I can feel like you delivered the punchline, but the theater was just empty. It was just dead for some of them, and some of them are just like, okay, that would have been funny if this would have been back in 2016 or something like that. So some of the jokes kind of felt like they were just too late for their time. But overall, I mean, the jokes that do land are really funny. The theater erupted into laughter quite a few times, but I don't know, the movie's fine. But I mean, I'm not going to probably go completely out of my way to see it again. Unless it's like on Netflix or something, and maybe I'll put it on for a little bit or something. But realistically, I'll probably maybe see this movie one more time in my life, and that'll probably be about it.
So I am going to give it an edible. The film was exactly what I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be a incredible film with a wonderful storyline that was going to make me cry or anything like that. Like I knew it was going to be something absolutely incredibly stupid with some of the dumbest jokes I probably came across. Because that's what you expect with scary movie. I think going into it, the big expectation that I had was nostalgia. Like that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to come into it, see some things that make me, think back on the original scary movie films and kind of the feeling that you got from those original scary movie films. And I think when you look at it from that perspective, like it did accomplish that. Were there quite a few jokes that landed flat? Absolutely. There are definitely a few moments where I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I really hope this gets better or else this is going to be a painful however much longer I have here or whatever. But they kept having like those moments here and there where it pulled you back in and then, it would fall a bit and then it would pull you back in. So I think it's good that they ended up with that type of pacing. It probably wasn't intentional. But the nostalgia overall, I think, made it to where I would watch it again at least a couple of times with people, to be like, hey, look who they brought back for this dumb stuff that they're doing now, type of a thing. Or just to laugh at the fact that, Shorty got multiple people killed, throughout the course of the thing. Oh, wait, I guess that was a spoiler. My bad. It'll be okay. But, I would give it an edible. I enjoyed it overall. Not the best film, but it was exactly what it needed to be, I think.
Nice. So you got an edible, and Brad, you're staking the claim as lowest rating with jointy edible. Yeah, you should feel ashamed of yourself for having such a low rating. The redness should be there. You should be embarrassed. You might even want to turn off your camera just out of the shit. Jointy skunky.
Okay.
I honestly love the ending. Like one of my favorite reviews I saw on Letterboxd randomly was better ending than Scream 7. But like once the third act starts, I'm good. Like we have a fight reference, which I'll be vague just to not spoil the franchise, but you can probably guess. And then everything after that, I'm just like, this is just nailing it. It even solves some of the earlier moments. I'm just like, oh my God, you're copying this thing from something. It's just why are we even saying that again? Another franchise. I know the one you parody said this, but it's just so eye rolling. But then other moments, like you were saying, were really working. Even ones that weren't my favorite, like they just stabbed her. They stabbed them. My pronouns are they, them. And then, but they did like 3 other jokes after. I was like, all right, at least you had some more than the trailer had. But if the whole thing could have just been that end, I would probably be at a mushroom. And it's also not faring as well having seen the original after. I'm like, oh man. Like, because there wasn't a single thing in the original that I was like, oh, man, I should have watched this 26 years ago when the references were fresh. It was still like, yeah, it still works on its own. But that's where I'm at. Feel the shame, Brad.
Based on the spoiler-free section, I was really expecting to be the lowest, and but yeah,
I just don't think
I'm okay not being the lowest.
I just don't think I'll watch anything but the last like 20 minutes ever again, or like little clips of it. Because like I enjoyed, this was in the trailers, I enjoyed the Kai Cenat section when they just came on. That didn't feel like hello fellow kids. It felt like, oh yeah, we're fucking around with this guy, and then the movie. But cool. Speaking of potential spoilers, we're getting into them in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or I guess I should have, by the implication of the titles alone, said 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because it did the classic just saying scary movie, no numbers, even though it is a sequel. Like Scream did that. Oh yeah, Halloween did that, where they didn't say like Halloween and a number. They just started calling it its original name again. But yeah, what'd y'all think? Spoilers. Oh, my joke that I really liked was, why'd y'all do 3 and 4? They gave us a lot of money for Anna Faris and should have had this ready. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong screen.
Regina Hall.
Scary. Yes, thank you.
I actually don't think I have anything like specific to point out, because there's just so much going on in the film. Like all I can really say is that I absolutely loved seeing Regina Hall, because she is absolutely incredible and phenomenal. So like anything I get to see her in where she's doing her magic, I'm in love. So you know, it's always great kind of seeing her do her comedy. But like there are definitely some really funny moments. Like right now, I couldn't tell you what they are. Like y'all might end up saying something and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was funny. But like it was just so much. There was just so much going on that it's really difficult to like pinpoint stuff for me. It was chaotic, yeah, useless, sometimes funny.
Well, not as, I guess, well executed as the original Matrix reference in the first one. I did like the John Wick action sequence where she looks like John Wick and she like kills 20 ghost faces in the front room. I think that was meant to be John Wicky, but you know, I'm not expecting them to actually get long takes and get it up to the same caliber. But their moment where they just kill the daughter did a really good Anna Faris impression, but them killing all the kids made me so happy because I was so tired when the guy was like, it's so meta, you have to be obvious because it's not. I'm like, motherfucker, I saw this in Scream 6. Come on. I know you're parodying that, but them killing the kids was just wonderful.
Oh, that made me so happy.
Fuck them. This is our franchise.
It was. I was just like, that was the perfect ending for this.
And it's crazy because in the actual horror films, you could do that and make it more tragic because everyone just expects the new blood to continue on. You could milk that so much by actually killing them all. But anyway, did you have a favorite sequence, Brad?
The two that I think of, that pops in my head is the Get Out sequence when, was it like Ghostface becomes a K-pop star and sings like
that
Shorty.
Was a good one. Shorty. That was a good one.
Yeah, so I think of that when he's singing his K-pop song, and then I think of the Kai Cenat when like they're like live streaming, because I think that is very like kids nowadays. They were doing it more on like Twitch or whatever. Yeah. Where like if they would have did it in like TikTok live, I think it would have connected better with like the younger generation. Again, one of those jokes that I think would have been better back in like 2020-ish.
Well,
Another joke.
Kaisenet is a Twitch streamer, though. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have did it with like a TikTok live stream too. I mean, just because it would have been more 2026 versus 2020. I know Twitch is still around. I know there's still a lot of people, but it was definitely
your anger and these Twitch followers. Sorry, Twitch followers.
That almost sounded like you're angering the liberals. Sorry, liberals. But like only from the YouTubers who were saying that ironically.
Oops. Sorry, feminist.
I'm a Republican now, so I've got to be racist against the Twitch followers. So,
and I'm a Republican, and I hate all whites. Yeah, that's my racism.
I'm surprised they didn't do more on like more newer trends. I know this problem. They probably wrote this and they probably filmed it, last year sometime. But like the maxing trends and stuff like that. So I wish there would have been some more newer things.
They didn't need
but versus
I mean, like replacing older things.
Okay.
Like, the only reason the COVID kind of worked is because they were like, dude, COVID's been done for years.
Yeah, it just there felt like there's a lot of like Trump first term jokes in there. Like things that would have landed that time, where like now it's just kind of like, I wish it would have been a little bit more newer stuff of, probably more last 2-3 years versus 2016 to 2021, 2022-ish. But I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, this is just a pop culture reference movie where they just like pull things from the cultural zeitgeist of everything and just like try and jam it down our throats and make it funny somehow, or, make fun of it, or remind us that that was a thing at one point in time that we all did.
Though I am thinking of like newer stuff they could have replaced. Even if they started with the Get Out thing, but then made it the whole filmography, like starting with the Get Out and the stuffing that's in there, and be like, no, we got to get us out of here. Or just to keep the titles correct, be like, us gotta get out. And then they somehow go nope. And then at least it's like, all right, I get why you're starting with Get Out, but it's not stuck there. Yeah, I don't know. But y'all made a fair point. I'm not arguing against it, but I would have liked a lot if they had just been like, all right, what's happened in the last year or two, and try to do it that way.
Yeah, I think it just kind of fell in the trap of, because it's been 13 years and there's so many things that there's too big of an area for them to pull from, and they wanted to make sure they connected with the first movies back. I think it was like 2005, something like that, when the first one came out. Earlier, 2001 is when Scary Movie 2 came out. So
I also have to imagine, because what got me hyped for this one is I saw his last meal on YouTube, and he was talking about doing Him, the horror film that came out like a year ago, and I think Jordan Peele was a producer on, and he was like talking about it. So I can imagine movies like Get Out were really important, or Sinners were really important, and you couldn't, like, if I was in that writer's room and someone said it's too old, but it was important to me, I'd be like, yeah, but we gotta at least do something. I just wish it had been, I don't know how to improve it. Just maybe a quicker reference.
Mm-hmm.
Although some of them weren't even that long. He's in the chair, there's a bunch of fuzz, and then he's K-pop for 3 minutes. I don't know.
I mean, some of them were golden.
What were some golden ones for you?
The ones y'all named.
What were you going to say, Brad?
Well, I like, it clicked because she said it's golden, which is the song, the K-pop song.
Okay. Didn't click for me.
So yeah, like I think Sinners and K-pop Demon Hunters are probably like the most recent things on there. But I would say like the majority of the jokes were like older than that. But bringing back like Shaq, who was in Scary Movie, which is pretty funny. So like bringing back some of those people was pretty funny to bring them back and stuff like that.
Which I know he was referenced in number 1 because they were like, it's not a horror film. You haven't seen Shaq's acting, but has he actually shown up in other films?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was in
the one that's by Saw. The Saw.
Yeah, the Jigsaw. He was in the Jigsaw where he had to make a free throw or with Dr. Phil, and like they ended up cutting off. Dr. Phil cuts off his foot, and then it was like, that was the wrong foot.
The wrong foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in more of their defense, I tried looking up biggest movies of 2024, and I'm not seeing a lot of cultural stuff, like except Dune Part 2. There was Joker 2, but people wanted to forget that quick. They did The Substance, which was good. So, and like in terms of horror, there's Alien Romulus, but like what is there? I haven't seen it, but I assume there's not something very specific to pull from there. So yeah, possibly I'll look up biggest horror movies because it doesn't actually make sense if they're parroting challengers too much. Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a lot of distinct movies.
I think they made a lot of cultural jokes too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I missed some of those too, and maybe I just didn't connect with some of them or didn't understand. For some of the jokes, I was like, I feel like that's a joke here, and I just don't get it. But
yeah,
so maybe that was
a lot of the jokes
too.
were definitely throwbacks to older films and things.
Yeah, it sounded like this was the first one that brought back like Doofy and Gale Weatherstorm or Thunderstorm or whatever, and little Dick guy who had the I don't know
From the first one.
Yeah,
but
because I hadn't seen the first one, I didn't get that he was a returning character or a reference.
Yeah,
so
he was the first killer. Well, partly.
Oh yeah, because at the end of the day, it was just Doofy, right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Wait, he wasn't he wasn't the first killer. They had the boyfriend and the other Wayne's brother.
That's why I said there was a lot going on there.
And then Doofy was like the twist third.
Yeah, like I said.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were saying Little Dick was the first killer.
No, I didn't say it.
I'll see it in the edit.
But now we're on the same page.
What did you all think of the Tiana Taylor opening? Because I think she basically does Scream 4 or 5 or 6's intro with which was the lady from Ready or Not going into the alleyway looking for her date.
Oh yeah, I think it was funny because of just like the joke around like what would happen if he were to go into blah 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 whatever. So I think for that aspect of it, it's funny. But at the same time, I remember thinking like, man, this is really long. This is a lot.
Yeah, because like the times where it seemed like they were channeling another one, they did the whole kid and caboodle. Because if you go and watch the Scream equivalent, it's obviously going to be longer because the punchline would have had them just being killed and then it's done. Whereas this one was like, now, New York, assemble, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I at least liked the meta references of like, you didn't get the Oscar, bitch, I got the Grammy, or whatever the other one was. Also, even despite my low rating, I will say this is a better film with Tiana Taylor in it because I did not like One Battle After Another, and they really used her weirdly.
Cool.
Oh, and I totally remembered to keep changing the layout. It's also resetting slow as hell. It actually didn't reset fully. It's glitching. Okay, I literally can't even use another layout. Just a second. Okay, that was right. I'm going back to the original. It was glitching for some reason. What was the Salem reference? Because the background I've got is Ghostface. I don't know all the characters' names. Shorty, Cindy, Brenda, and a black cat all putting their middle fingers up. Was there a black cat that I'm forgetting?
Not that I remember. No, I don't remember any animals off the top of my head.
All right, then that's interesting. Because they tried advertising it with those 5 characters flicking off the screen saying, Gen Z is already offended. Was anything in this offensive? Like that you could be like, that was funny, but I can see how that's offensive.
I'm sure most of the film could be offensive.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on... Yeah, it depends. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of cultural jokes too, because I think there's like jokes towards kind of like a lot of different cultures that probably could be considered offensive if you went in it with the wrong mindset, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think any of it was framed in a offensive way, but like because of the content, you can easily see anybody getting offended by certain parts.
Nothing's coming to mind for me though. I mean, I know the pronouns thing, but I think everyone was just like, oh, that's an old joke.
Again, a joke that would have been funny in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about Scary Movie? Parentheses 6?
No.
All right. It's just the outro, right? There's nothing I'm forgetting? Okay.
What was the last film? What was the last stuff?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. It was Shaolin Soccer. So, compared to Shaolin Soccer, who thinks Scary Movie parentheses 6 is better? Whoa, guys, slow down. Don't everyone jump to love Scary Movie faster than Shaolin Soccer. I'm guessing Shaolin Soccer wins between the two. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think those jokes are just gonna be more timeless. Where this joke's, I think in 5 to 10 years, everybody will look back and be like, "Ooh, that was kind of cringe," or like, "Oh, yeah, I remember that was funny," but it's not really relevant anymore. So I think this will be more of a time of more piece of its time versus Shaolin Soccer, which will transcend multiple decades.
Now, this one might actually have a high chance of getting dethroned compared to Shaolin Soccer. Who thinks Scary Movie is better than Godzilla -1? Everybody? Yeah, I think it's unanimous. Nobody watched the video. The new greatest all-timer for the Movies podcast is still Godzilla -1. Next time we're going to be watching, what's it called? Office Romance?
Office Romance with J-Lo and Brett Goldstein.
It's on Netflix.
For the record, I was not the one who picked it, so don't y'all be all like, "Oh, the Roy."
And it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Like I said in the group chat, I'll just make sure for anybody listening, it is a rom-com, but there's one little scene that's like not kid friendly, kind of comes out of nowhere. So just be careful who you watch it around, I guess, or if you're going to watch it with like little kids, there's a section you probably don't want them to watch.
Is this like PG-13 though? Or what rating do you think it is?
No, there's no way. There's no way. Anthony. No way. I don't even have to look. I'm just gonna say there's no way. No chance.
You know, just for a little bit of sexual material, a little bit of language throughout, and a little bit of graphic nudity, it's rated R. Like, the woke liberal hive mind have taken over the Hollywood. Take that, Scary Movie haters. But this movie may be a mushroom. This movie may be maybe an edible. Wait, what should you put, Mullen?
I was an edible.
This movie may be an edible. This may be a jointy edible, and this movie may be a jointy skunky. But no matter what, this movie is dope because movies are
dope. We got confused. You're doing all the hand signals.
I was doing hands.
Bye now.
Went out on a bang.
I'm living in a movie, there's a scene you gotta jump. I got my people at the viewing who all knew me selling tickets. Yeah, they talking about the beauty. I see Scorsese outside saying this isn't cinema. Free man, I ain't doing shit tomorrow, I don't need plans. I'll be kicking it till April off for $3 grand. I don't even need the money, I just need fans.